welcome to Cooped Up. So, the weather's still a little iffy outside, but it's that time of year where maybe you're thinking about getting out there with your chickens, and the ladies are probably super impatient to be out exploring again and free ranging. Or maybe you're thinking about getting chicks for the first time this spring. If so, good for you. But I thought I'd take the opportunity today to talk to you about something that's probably good for all chicken keepers to have on hand. And that is a chicken first aid kit. So I'm going to show you what I keep in my first aid kit for the ladies, because it's also a good time of year to take stock of it and replenish anything that I've run out of, or replace anything that might need replacing. So that'll help me get a good idea of what I need for the ladies this summer. So a chicken first aid kit is kind of a lot like a first aid kit you'd have for yourself or your family. You're going to want some basic items. Now, hopefully you won't ever need all of these, but they're good to have on hand just because if you end up with a chicken emergency, then you don't have to waste time running to the store to find that essential item. It's just good to have it on hand right away. So, one of the things you're definitely going to want to have are gloves, so that if you do have an injured bird or some kind of treatment you need to do, can wear some disposable gloves. So I always have these on hand. They're also good to wear when you're giving the coop a really good clean, just to protect yourself and your birds. I'd like to have some, gauze pads for any injuries. Better than Band-Aids, because you can use the gauze as well as some first aid cloth tape. And probably the best thing is wraps of some kind. So there are what's known as vet wrap for like horses and cows and stuff, and it comes in larger, wider widths, but I just use the regular like small size here you can buy at Walgreens, and that works just fine for the chickens. So if they have like an injury on their foot or their leg, you can wrap it up and it will stay pretty secure, and the tan color makes them not as likely to peck at it. They'll probably give it a few tries, but then they tend to get bored and leave it be. So that's good for any kind of injury like that. I like to have a little tub of Vaseline. This is good because you can cover wounds. You can also put it on their legs and on their combs and wattles. In the winter time, to help with the dryness and the cold. It's very good at helping prevent frostbite on their little combs on their heads. Keeps the moisture in and so they don't get too chilly. So that's good. I also like to have super glue because chickens, I had one chicken once, she broke her toenail off, unfortunately. She got it caught on something and it just cracked off right at the quick of the nail, and it just would not stop bleeding until I applied some super glue. And so it's a really good fix for something that you can't like stitch up, which please don't put stitches in your chicken unless you're a medical professional. But super glue was able to help stop that bleeding. You can also get a styptic pen or pencil. It's the special pen, which mine is gone. One thing I do need to replace. It helps close up wounds, keep them from bleeding. Another good thing to have is an old syringe or medicine dropper of some kind, in case you do need to medicate your chicken with something. It's good to help you measure it out, get it in their beaks if need be. If you have young chicks or a sick chicken, sometimes you need electrolytes. So it's kind of like making chicken Gatorade. You mix this with some water, and it helps give them some vitamins and help them through a tough time if they're feeling ill. Simple tools like tweezers and a nail file are good, as well as the nail clippers, because you do need to trim your chicken's nails. Sometimes Depends on the bird. I tend to not because my birds free range quite a bit, but there are some birds that just get these outrageously long nails and you don't want them to get caught on anything. So it is sometimes a good idea to trim or file them. I also like to have some rubbing alcohol to clean any tools I'm going to use, or maybe they have a wound, and yes, no one likes their wounds cleaned with alcohol, but we don't want infection to set into your poor lady's owies. Another good thing to have is a poultry protector spray. This is great for when they have maybe mites or lice or there's ticks. Keeps your coop clean. I like to always have DE, so the diatomaceous earth, or some kind of poultry dust, which you can get, just about anywhere that sells chicken items, your farm store like Farm and Fleet, and so forth. It's good to dust it around in the coop a bit, add it to their dust baths, keep them clean and healthy. Another thing that I definitely like to have is apple cider vinegar. And I like the raw unfiltered kind. And this is good because you can add a little bit to their water, because it's good for digestion, good for the immune system in a chicken, especially in the winter when they're not free ranging and getting all those good organic yummies to eat. Don't use it in a metal waterer. It's not vinegar reacting with that metal is not good for the chicken. Best to use it in plastic water tubs only. But that's another great thing to have in your chicken first aid kit. Two more things that I do not have on hand right now. It is called the Vet RX Poultry Water Additive. Now this is good to add to the water as well. You can do that instead of the apple cider vinegar. It's kind of like extra vitamins and minerals for the winter time. It helps also keep their skin and beaks and stuff supple throughout the winter. So it's kind of like internal hydration. Another thing I like to have is the Vetricid Plus poultry spray. And this is it's kind of like an antibiotic treatment for wounds or cuts, or maybe there's a sore spot that lost some feathers, but you don't want to bandage it. It's just a hard to reach, hard to cover or heal area. So it's a good like all around wound fixer, small wound fixer. There's also a wound antiseptic known as Blue Coat. And it kind of sounds like it is. It's the sticky stuff that you apply to your chicken over a wound. It keeps out germs and fungus, but it stains. It's a darker color. You definitely want to wear gloves if you apply it. And I haven't had to use it, so I don't have any on hand at the moment, so I can't show you what it looks like. But some people say it works really well. It covers up the redness of a wound, and so keeps the chickens from wanting to peck at it. Other chicken keepers will argue and say that it acts like a target because they see that blue coat and they're like, oh, that's new and interesting. I'm going to peck at it some more. So it kind of depends on your bird and how badly they're wounded if you want to use it. So like I said, I have not needed to use it, and I hope not to have to. Obviously, we don't want our birds to get injured. But it really is a good idea to have some supplies on hand in case you do have some kind of emergency. Now, don't go out and spend a ton of money buying all these fancy medicines and equipment for your chickens. Even if you just have the basics like the apple cider vinegar and the rubbing alcohol and some bandages and gauze of some kind, and maybe some Vaseline, you'll be able to administer some first aid to your ladies if necessary. So yeah, that's a chicken first aid kit for you. Obviously, every chicken owner is going to have their own ideas and their own preferred methods and materials. Again, I hope you never have to administer to your ladies and that they all stay healthy. Of course, we always wish that. But I hope you all are well and happy and looking forward to getting out there with the chickens. We'll see you next time. Bye.